Hey, welcome to this next presentation in a two-part series where we're talking about fears that the mother bears have as it relates to their cubs. The last video presentation, we talked about fears as it relates to money, the financial well-being or lack thereof,
Yes,
the
yes.
instability of their cubs.
Yep.
And we talked about a lot of fears, but we
we
also
did.
gave some solutions at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So this presentation, we're going to talk about fears as it relates to relationships. So before we get started, let's just introduce ourselves. My name is Mr. Advocate. I'm the founder of Rise to Your Top.
And my name is Michele Merkel. I'm the co-founder of Rise to Your Top.
Okay, so we're ready to go. We're going to talk about just one fear, Mother Bears, that you may have as it relates to the relationships that your cubs have. And that is a fear of marrying the wrong person. Yikes, that's a biggie. And
That's a biggie.
Mother Bear, Michele, I know that your cub has been married for how long now?
2 years.
2 years.
Yes.
So have you had any fears?
Of course, absolutely. We all do, right? And it's hard. It's hard to let your cub go, first of all, into a marriage. Are they ready? Do they know what it requires to
Let
be a
'em go.
good, in my son's case, a husband or a daughter, if you have a daughter. And it's scary. And we have fears about them marrying the wrong person. Because if you marry the wrong person, there are a plethora of problems that come with that, and we have fears that our cubs will do that. And if we have fear, if they marry the wrong person, they will not be known and loved by their spouse. They will have problems with communication potentially by their spouse. They will have problems with intimacy and stuff like that.
and doesn't sometimes the experience that the mother bear has had herself in her marriage doesn't that
Yes.
sort of come out? So
You
it's
know
not
what?
just what's going on
No.
potentially in the cubs, but she'll manifest some of her experience, her negative experience
negative.
specifically,
Yep.
and say, "Whoa, I hope my
Yes.
cub doesn't,
Right.
experience these things, as well."
Right.
Is that kind
That's
of there?
very true. And as a mother
Okay.
bear, we don't want our cubs to experience the pain, especially if we've experienced that pain.
Okay.
We will do anything and everything to prevent them from experiencing that. But what's scary about our cubs choosing a spouse is that they're adults. Once they choose a spouse, we kind of can't guide them the same way we could before. Once they're married, they're adults.
And they don't let you sometimes,
And they don't
right?
let you. But they don't. This is
I
the
know
darndest
everything.
thing. I know. And it's true, and it scares us silly as mother bears when we watch our cubs making potentially the same mistakes we made. And we can tell them all about it, but as you said, they don't listen.
Yeah.
And they think they're in love and they know everything. And
There you go.
your kids that are, teenagers, and early 20s and stuff, they do know everything. Just ask them, they'll tell you. And we know they don't have a clue. But we as kids that same age, we didn't have a clue either. And if we can think back that far, and when we were getting married potentially at an early age, we thought we knew everything too. And we were in love and blah, blah, blah. But
So you're also obviously a counselor.
Yes,
and,
I'm a
and you've
counselor.
counseled a lot of
Yes.
ladies,
Yes.
and mother bears specifically, as it relates to their marital scenario.
Right.
And some of the stresses and problems that
Right.
they have. And I know that sometimes you put it in a category as you're telling me conceptually about it. That as their marriage develops, they're getting more of a certain thing and a less of something else. So what are some of those things again that mother bears specifically have experienced in their marital relationship that they're just hoping that their cubs
don't get.
don't get?
Yeah.
What are some of, like, they get less as time goes on if they chose the wrong person themselves?
Right, yes.
So what are some of the things that they're getting less of?
Well,
again?
you get definitely less of intimacy, less of
Okay.
a relationship. You don't have we all think we're going to marry our best friend, and that's kind of our goal.
And a romantic,
And
probably,
romantic,
right?
and
Don't ladies all read these
We
romance
do
novels?
romance novels, and the guy's always so romantic and so everything else. They're not necessarily like that.
So some of that diminishes.
Some of that is so they set themselves up for a false expectation of what marriage is going to be.
That too. Okay.
And they're very much let down when they find out it's not that way. They don't get the same excitement that they think they'll get in marriage. You know, have an adventure. We're going to get married, and we're going to get our first home, and then we're going to do all these things.
Travel, maybe.
Travel, absolutely. and so many things come and stop that. And sometimes they can, you know, if they're married to a guy who is kind of controlling, he can dictate to them what they can and can't do. And they have to dress a certain way, wear their hair a certain way, do these things. And they're like, what's going on here? He liked my hair fine when we were dating and engaged. Now all of a sudden it's an issue, you know? And so they don't know what to do with all those things. And the control can be in finances, it can be in a whole bunch of stuff. And it seems to just transcend everything. And they don't know what to do. And then they feel trapped. And they get antsy and they want to run. They want to get out because nobody likes being trapped. So then they start making an exit plan. And that's a serious thing from a marriage. You don't want to make an exit plan. But when you're feeling trapped and, you know, you just want to run.
Yeah. And don't mother bears also within the context of their marital relationship, they can see it's now tenuous, there's stress in it, there's angst in it, it's not working that well.
Right.
And what do they think might be happening to their cubs watching all this?
Well, as a mother bear, you don't want your cubs watching this because you don't want them to see that disconnect between you and your spouse, and you don't want them to see you don't want them to see you wanting to run and closing down and shutting away from your spouse, because that is what happens. And it's not a good example, you know that, but you're so trapped, you're feeling so trapped, and you just want to get out. You know, and it's a hard place to be.
So relationships in general, as a counselor, we you know, they result in certain things. You know, that might be stress. What else? Stress. What else that could come from this relationship that the mother bear is having with her spouse?
Right.
What other emotions might be there?
Definitely stress. Anxiety. I've had clients that they start going to panic attacks, and you know, because heavy duty stuff, it can go, you know, people say, oh, we're so stressed and stuff like that, but stress is very serious and results in very serious things. And so really the sky's the limit.
So it depends on the level. So stress can go to anxiety, can go to panic attacks. It could be in depression. It can be suicidal thoughts. You know, and other types of destructive behavior to themselves or others.
Right.
So it's no small deal. So marrying the wrong person is not something to be taken lightly.
No,
it's an unbelievable, serious, you know, situation.
It is.
Okay, and I'm sure we didn't have to convince the mother bears of this.
No,
I have a sense that they already know this, and they're probably just nodding.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. So the issue is, what can we do about it? You know, what are some of the solutions, mother bear, that you can start implementing before they start entering into relationships of any potential person to marry? Because as we know, once they're in, what happens?
They're stuck. They're committed. They're
in love.
Gone. Oh,
they
they're
got
in love.
Hormones going. I mean, talking to them ends.
It does.
So premarital counseling is an oxymoron.
Right. No.
You got
to do it before.
The premarital. Before premarital.
Yes,
that's the whole thing. So what can you do that's before all that? And that's the issue. There's something called a temperament. And you must find out your cub's temperament and then the temperament of the other person, potential other people, to ensure they're compatible. Now, you can know in advance what temperaments you're compatible with and what you're not compatible with. You don't even have to have the other person.
No.
So you can know that. Belief systems. What type of belief systems do we coach and counsel about that we think have impact?
Their belief systems about all sorts of things, from religion to politics to you know, how you're going to raise your children to all sorts of.
There you go. The whole
scheme of things.
Spectrum of belief systems. They must be able to articulate themselves and then find out if the other person aligns,
right, yeah.
love languages.
Very
I'm not sure
important.
people understand love
I know,
languages.
and
They've
they're
been around
so
forever.
important. They have been.
Lots of
Yes.
great books, written on it. And you got to know how you express it and how you receive it, and make sure the other person's lined up,
Right,
to
right.
that, or it's gonna be a problem.
It's not going to go well.
Life goals. If your life goals don't match, major problem. Passions, if they don't match, major problems.
Yeah.
And something as simple as physical attraction. We're quite amazed.
Yeah.
Many
Yeah.
people get married to a person they're not physically attracted to.
Right.
And it's something that really needs to be talked to. There's some ideas for you, 4, 5, 6 of them, and yes, you say, okay, those are the concepts. How do I really go deeper into it?
Right.
And that's why, as we're developing a whole platform that's going to go really deep into finances, really deep into relationship dynamics, which is going to help you as a person and help your cubs, at the same time. So hang in there, hang with us.
It's coming.
Become part of the family.
Yes.
Spread the word, that we're here to be champions of mother bears and help them, stabilize, their cubs. So thanks for being with us on this video. We look forward to seeing you on the next one, and actually a long-term relationship.
Yes, absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
as usual, have a great day. We'll see you on the next video.
Take care.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.